Hey everyone, I'm really excited to be filming today because I am going to be filming a makeup tutorial. I know, finally, right? I think my last one was my Rihanna makeup tutorial, which I filmed over this summer, and there is no excuse for me to go that long without doing a makeup tutorial. I know. But today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the look that Emma Watson, who I think we all know best from playing Hermione in Harry Potter, holla if you're a Hufflepuff. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on her look. It was very classic, very simple, but also very beautiful. And that's the style she tends to go for. So I think it is very representative of the style of makeup that she wears. Not on an everyday basis, but at least when we see her out at events or special occasions and that type of stuff. So I'm gonna insert a picture right here of her makeup look. I just think it's so classic and really something that anyone can wear, which is why I chose this look over some of the others. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. I already have my moisturizer and all that good stuff on, so I'm going to jump right into foundation. I am using the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Foundation. I've pumped some on the back of my hand, so I'm going to take my beauty blender and just start applying this all over my face. This foundation gives a medium to full coverage. It is buildable, but I'm going to be going for more of a flawless look because this was red carpet, but you can really kind of adjust it depending on where you're going, what you're doing. Next, I'm going to be taking a little bit of my Laura Mercier Secret Concealer in the number 3 on a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And I'm gonna just be putting this on the inner corner of my eye to cover up any darkness I have there. Once I've concealed under my eyes, I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of my Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer in the color Natural, using the same brush just to cover up any other areas I think I need a little more coverage, maybe where there's some redness. So for instance, I might go just a little bit around the sides of my nose, a little bit on the apples of my cheek. I can tend to get a little more red. Forehead. And a little bit down on my chin as well. Using a Real Techniques setting brush and a tiny bit of my Makeup Forever HD powder, I am just going to take this and set underneath my eyes where I applied that concealer. And this will help it stay in place and also prevent any creasing in your fine lines. I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face makeup right now because I'm not going to be using any dark eyeshadow colors, and I'm going to be using the color Dim Light from the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, which is right here. This was limited edition, but you can buy this color sold separately, and this will just give the skin such a beautiful luminous finish, and the idea is that it will kind of give you the appearance as if you were sitting in a dim light. It's very, very beautiful. Now I'm going to move on to brows, and obviously I have a completely different brow shape than Emma Watson, but I am just going to do my brows how they are on my face because it would be a little silly to do them otherwise. So I did notice that her brows seem to be very natural, brushed up a little, and probably only filled in the spots they absolutely had to be. So I'm going to go for the same type of look and just go ahead and give my brows a brush up. And this is the Lash and Brow Groomer from Real Techniques. Obviously, I'm loving me some Real Techniques brushes right now, but they are really good. And now I am going to go in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color Brunette and just fill in any areas that look a little sparse or I think need to be tidied up a little bit. And as I go, I will just use the other side of the Brow Wiz, which has a little spoolie brush, to kind of blend out and make sure that the brows don't get too harsh looking. Now that I've finished filling in my brows, to keep them looking nicely groomed, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Great Lash Clear Brow Gel / Clear Mascara and just brush my brows up. And this is also going to help lock them into place. so they don't move around, which is really nice just on an everyday basis. This is a really great, cheap product for doing that type of thing. Time for the eyes. I am going to be using the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. I tend to have oilier eyelids, so whether or not I use any other kind of cream base, I'm always going to use this first. And I just take the smallest amount and smooth this all over my eyelids up through my crease usually. And this will just prevent my eyeshadow from creasing throughout the day. It works really, really well. I'm going to go over the top of that with a little bit of MAC's Paint Pot in the color Painterly. This is just a creamy, matte looking pinky nude color, and it's gonna help give a more natural finish to the eyelid and work as a really great base for the two shadows I'm gonna use next. Now onto eyeshadow. I am going to be using the color Naked 2 from the Naked Basics palette. This is a very, very light color that's perfect to put through the crease when you don't want a ton of definition, but you want to add just a little bit of shadow to create that depth. So that is what I'm going to be using with my Sigma E40 brush. And I am just going to put this right through the crease or socket of my eye, because I want to create just a little shadow there, but not too much. And if this color is too light for your skin tone, you could always use Faint in this palette. It's a darker brown and may work a little better, but both of these shades are really, really amazing crease colors. Now, Emma was wearing really barely any color on her eyelids. It was very kind of skin tone, like a bone beige color, and very natural. So what I'm going to be using is a mix of these two matte colors from MAC. The first here is Blanc Type, which is just a creamy white beige color. And the second is Samoa Silk, which is like an orangey, peachy matte shade. I'm going to be using more of Blanc Type than the peachy color, but it's just going to give it a little something extra so it's not too white looking against my skin tone. I'm going to take this color and just put it all over my eyelid up to my crease. And lastly, for the eyeshadow, I am just going to take this tiniest bit of Venus from the Naked Basics palette, which is the satin shade that comes in it, and using the same brush, just picking up a tiny bit and applying it just under my brow bone as a little bit of a highlight. Moving on to eyeliner, Emma was wearing a black liner. It looked like gel liner to me, but you can use whatever type of liner you feel most comfortable using. And she was wearing it from the center of her pupil all the way to the outer corner of her eye, and it was very, very slightly winged out. So I am going to be using MAC's Black Track Fluid Line to create a very similar effect on my own eyes. I am using the MAC 266 brush, which is the one that I'm most comfortable with for gel liner, but everyone has their own preference, shape of brush, and which one they like, so use whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I'm gonna have to have my mirror up for this part, but like I said, I'm gonna be starting around the center of my eye and working it outward. And really the flick is ever so slight. I didn't even realize she had a flick until I saw a profile shot of her, so don't get too crazy with it. Once you are done with the black liner, this step is optional, but I am going to be taking my Rimmel Kohl Kajal in the color Nude and using this on my lower lash line. I just find this really brightens the eyes and works really well with this look. Now I'm going to use my eyelash curlers and give my lashes just a little bit of a lift. And then I'm taking my L'Oreal Lash Out Butterfly Mascara and applying this to both my top and bottom lashes. Now, Emma wasn't wearing full-on lashes, but to add a little extra drama, I'm assuming that she did have some individual lash clusters on. So I'm going to be adding a few to the outer corners and maybe one or two to the center of my eyes. In individual lashes are seriously one of my favorite new things to use. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a video on how to apply these in more detail. While I let those individual lashes dry, I'm going to be taking a little bit of my MAC powder in Sculpt. This was a limited edition duo from several years back, but you can buy both of these colors individually online from the Pro Selection. The contour is Sculpt and the highlight is Accentuate. So like I said, I will be using Sculpt to just define my cheekbones a little bit more. Emma had just the slightest bit of pink on her cheeks and it was very subtle, not a whole lot of blush. So I am going to be using the Stila convertible color in Lilium, which looks like this. It's just a very natural kind of pinky color. And using a Real Techniques stippling brush, I am going to stipple this a little bit on the apples of my cheek, but for my particular face shape, I am going to bring it back a little bit further towards my hairline as well. Once my blush is on, going back to that same brush I used for contouring, I wiped it off on a tissue, and I am going to be picking up a little bit of Benefit's Rockateur blush, which is very shimmery pink. It's not too pigmented, and I am going to be using this on the tops of my cheekbones for a little bit of a highlight. Last but not least, we are finally on to lips, and I am going to be lining my lips with MAC's Lip Pencil in the color Subculture. This is a really amazing color and will pretty much work with almost any lip color you do, which is one reason I really like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips to make sure they don't lose their shape too much. And as you saw in the photos, Emma was wearing pink on her lips, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. But because of how simple and classic this look is, you could do a red lip, you could do a coral lip, you could do a purple lip, you could really do whatever colored lip you want with this look. But sticking with what she wore at the Golden Globes, I am going to be going with pink, and I am going to be using the color Please Me from MAC. This is just one of their lip palettes that I have in my kit, and I'm borrowing it for this look because I think this color will be pretty perfect. So I'm going to take some of this out and just use a lip brush to apply this all over my lips. Now, this is a really gorgeous pink, but it didn't come out quite as deep as I wanted, so I'm actually going to take my Revlon Matte Balm stain in the color Sultry just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. It'll add a little bit of mauviness to it, but I do want it to be a little deeper. But like I said, the lips for this look are completely up to you. All right, so this is the completed look of what my interpretation was of what Emma Watson wore to the 2014 Golden Globes. As you can see, it is just so natural and classic. The eyes are very natural and light with just a little bit of black eyeliner, some pink blush, pink on the lips, and I just think it's so beautiful and classic, age appropriate for any aged woman, and I just really, really love it. All right, well, that is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I've said it 100 times in this video already, but I do think it's just very wearable and very classic and also very pretty. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up as always and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And one quick announcement I have is I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel called Hot or Hype, where I'm going to basically be telling you whether certain products that we tend to hear a lot of buzz about are as good as they say and are actually hot, or if it's all hype and they really don't live up to the expectations. So leave me comments below and let me know what products you would like to see featured in that series. I'm really excited to do it and hope to have the first one in that series up within the next week. And I will see you all soon with a new video. Bye!